Throughout the history of this channel, we have talked about some of Fortnite's biggest creators.
Please, 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 please.
Yes! Oh my god! It worked!
And some of the best pro players in the world.
Your world champion! Boom! Dog!
But rarely are there players who shine both in tournaments and on camera. However, today we'll be talking about one of Australia's best pro players, who is also a massive content creator. And I guess technically we're not just talking about one of them, because these boys were born as permanent duo partners. This is the story of the x2Twins. Jesse and Jordan Eckley were born on May 28th of 2000 in Australia. And they both have the same birthday because, well, they're twins. It's not just a name, the two of them are actually identical twins. I don't really know what's cooler than being born with a built-in Fortnite duo. I wish I had that. We don't know a lot about the twins' personal life, but what we do know is that it seemed relatively normal. They went to school and played sports as well.
Favorite subject in school was definitely sport. We were very outdoors back then, but lots changed, so yeah, what he said.
Jesse was even a tennis coach throughout high school.
Yeah, I was a tennis coach for as long as I was in high school pretty much, so I'd probably do something along with tennis, I guess.
And as much as these boys loved competing in sports and playing outdoors, they loved gaming just as much, if not even more. The two of them got into gaming at a very young age, and specifically shooter FPS games like Counter-Strike.
So before Fortnite, I'd say the main game that we grinded was probably CSGO.
And the two of them put in a lot of hours on Counter-Strike, like thousands of hours. For those of you that haven't played CSGO, it's a tactical FPS game. It's team-based, you defuse the bomb, capture things, whatever, very classic video game. But shortly after they got into gaming, in the mid to late 2010s, Battle Royales became a huge thing in the world of gaming. And of course, as longtime gamers, the twins were interested in trying them, first playing H1Z1, PUBG, and then of course, Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale dropped on September 26th of 2017, and this game was not expected to be the success that it was. After the original Save the World mode flopped, Fortnite came out with a free-to-play Battle Royale mode that stuck and became one of the most popular games in the history of the world. This game exploded, and you couldn't go a day without hearing about it, whether you were in America, Europe, or Australia. Even television hosts were talking about it.
A new season of Fortnite has premiered, which I didn't even know video games had seasons. I don't know. I'm still on season 1 of Donkey Kong, but Fortnite.
The twins were OG Fortnite players, playing the game within just a few months of its release. And with all those gaming hours played on CSGO and the other battle royales, they were already seasoned gamers that were going into this brand new game and wanting to be the best. And as opposed to these popular games, when Fortnite came out, there weren't a lot of players who wanted to play it competitively, because there wasn't any ranked or arena modes yet, there were no cash cups, no LANs, not even creative mode, it was just pubs. You simply just joined the lobby and hoped you were the last one standing. But things would quickly change. As Fortnite grew in popularity, people started to play in scrim discords and try to create a competitive side that Fortnite wasn't officially providing. And Australia's small player base was actually an advantage in Fortnite's beginning months.
America and other regions like NA and EU, they couldn't scrim because there was no customs. There was no custom lobbies, right? So OC having no players, when we queue, we get 50 people in the scrim. So we were the only people that were able to scrim at this time. So we were way ahead of everyone and way better than everyone, but there were no tourneys.
Slowly but surely, these players began to create an amazing competitive community that Epic Games could not ignore. These scrim servers, community Discord servers, and stat trackers like Fortnite Tracker were all tools that players were using to get better at the game. Eventually, however, players were disappointed that there was no opportunity to earn money like there was in other esports. So once again, the Fortnite community innovated, and people like Keemstar started tournaments like Friday Fortnite. Streaming and content creation also became a massive part of the Fortnite culture. People like Ninja, Lachlan,
And just like half of the population, I feel like on Earth, I have now become addicted to Fortnite.
And Nick A30.
Nick, what's the game called? It's called Fortnite. It's free.
And so many more were all getting their big break from playing Fortnite. Because of the massive success of these streamers and YouTubers, it only made sense that smaller players like the x2Twins were inspired to start up an account of their own. So on January 6th of 2018, the x2Twins created their official Twitch account, which they streamed a lot on at the beginning. In February of 2018, they would stream 140 hours and then almost doubled it in March, streaming 236 hours. That is almost 8 hours every single day. Even though they were streaming all these hours, however, the first few months didn't see many viewers for the x2Twins. They averaged just under 10 viewers, but slowly and surely, they began to build up a small community. They also decided that in addition to live streaming, they would make a YouTube account as well, and although we'd love to look back on some of those older videos, many of them have been deleted from the channel. During this era, the x2Twins also started to gain attention for their skills. You see, they were entertaining, and it was a cool gimmick that they were twins, but they were also very, very good at Fortnite, and I think a lot of people forget about that. At this time, they were definitely two of the best Fortnite players in Australia and two of the better players in the world, especially when it came to duos, considering they had the best chemistry you could ever have. And when you get to a professional level in gaming, the next step usually involves joining a gaming org. Except back then in Australia, there weren't really any Fortnite orgs or really many esports orgs at all. Unfortunately, in Australia, they're known for having bad internet connection, which is really difficult for gaming. However, the Twins would not let that get in their way, and they decided to make their own pro gaming team called Twinsanity.
So originally, there were like some teams, I guess, in OC, but they weren't really like any good, or at least Jesse and I felt we could do way better. So we just figured, let's make our own team with Jesse and I. We already have 2 out of 4 players. We just had to find 2 others. So yeah, we pretty much made Twinsanity because there were no other teams out there that like were performing to where we thought we could.
Twinsanity comprised of 4 main members, obviously Jesse and Jordan, but also popular players and content creators Hershicles, and one of the most famous of all time, Mr. Fresh Asian. This team was the pinnacle of Australian Fortnite. They were absolutely dominating everyone in the region, and in fact, they got so much attention that an American esports team wanted to sign them. They were known as Renegades. Renegades is a Detroit-based gaming organization owned by pro basketball player Jonas Jerebko. Anyways, the entire Twinsanity team was purchased and signed to Renegades on August 14th of 2018. Eventually, Epic Games heard the community and decided that they were going to take competitive a little bit more seriously. One of the first big LANs that Fortnite held was actually right in the x2Twins' home country of Australia. The Australian Open, also known as Fortnite Summer Smash, was held on January 26th of 2019. And quick note for all my fellow American fans, the reason that the Summer Smash was held in January is because Australia is on the opposite side of the world, so it's actually their summer in January, which is weird, but whatever. The Summer Smash was actually the biggest ever esports event held in Australia, not just in Fortnite, but ever. And there was a massive $500,000 prize pool. And the first place solos winner would be lucky enough to take home $100,000 to themselves. Of course, the x2Twins and their teammates Hershicles and Mr. Fresh Asian all entered into the tournament qualifiers, and they were all able to qualify except for Jordan. Many of the fans and all of the commentators were pretty much expecting Fresh to take home the win. He was not only one of the biggest creators in Australia at the time, but also incredibly skilled at Fortnite, and some would even say the best player in the region.
Mandy, if you had to pick anyone of the 100 here today, who are you looking out for?
Is the boring option if I say Mr. Fresh Asian?
Look, I don't know, because that's who I also want to say, but I think we're going to get some surprises.
Little did anyone know, however, Jesse, one of the x2Twins, was about to absolutely demolish the competition.
Welcome to Melbourne, Australia. This is the Fortnite Summer Smash live from the Australian Open. Today, we are here at one of the world's greatest sporting events.
Hopefully I can do well and qualify for the finals. Should be pretty exciting, especially if we get into the finals. That'll be 6 games, so it'll even out a bit more. Should be good fun.
A more passive player, very smart, very consistent player, and it looks like one of the x2Twins is looking to win this first game.
Chances are Minton's going to go down the storm here in a second. Snake just throwing it all the way down that redeploy, maybe.
And it's going to be Jesse.
At home.
Can you believe it? Game number 1. The rotation's coming through. Keith gonna pick up one as well. Jesse, again, the first player to rotate. So smart, and it continues. He's gonna take the 10 HP tick in the storm here. That means Jesse wants to play for the heal off. Expect him to go for late game heal off with that med kit. He loves it, and he does it so consistently.
Before his HP ticks out, if he wants another point, gets one down to the bottom. Taylor falls, eliminated by storm damage, and Jesse picking up a back-to-back.
Can you believe it? X2Twin Jesse does it again. That's 2 in a row.
Just imagine, just a second. Take a big deep breath, close your eyes. Imagine a three-peat and how ridiculous that would be. Drop down to 1v1, Vince versus Jesse. Can Jesse pick up a third win in a row?
He's going for heal off. 2 med kits and a campfire here for Vince. I'm whispering so Jesse doesn't hear me. Vince versus Jesse, the heal off. Jesse only had 5 bandages earlier. Vince has high ground. He stops healing. He decided to stop healing. That's going to cost him the game.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness. I'm lost for words, Lupo.
That's right. Jesse won 3 out of 6 games and clutched the first place win for $100,000.
The winner of the Fortnite Summer Smash here at the Australian Open. Bring him up on the stage from the Renegades. Won 3 games in a row from the x2Twins. It is, of course, Jesse.
And this win was huge for not only Jesse, but also for his brother Jordan too, as it helped improve the x2Twins brand greatly.
Firstly, how does it feel to come out as champion? And secondly, what does $100,000 mean to you?
It's really good to come out with a win. A lot of practice that goes into it. Been last year scoring really hard. And in terms of the 100K, I don't know what it feels like. Hasn't yet.
It'll hit you eventually, don't worry.
Not to mention that $100,000 is life-changing money for a lot of people. And following this win, they went from averaging 400 viewers on Twitch to over 1,000 viewers in just 1 month. And the Twins would only keep growing from there. The Summer Smash might have seemed like one of the biggest Fortnite tournaments of all time, but it was certainly not going to be the biggest for much longer. Just a few short months later, Epic was cooking up one of the world's biggest esports events of all time, the Fortnite World Cup. Epic Games hosted the World Cup at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City, all the way across the world from the x2Twins. The tournament had $30 million in prizes available and was by far the largest prize pool that esports had ever seen. In order to qualify, players had to compete in online events taking place over 10 weeks between April to June of 2019. Unfortunately, however, Australia was at a huge disadvantage going into the tournament because only 1 person from each week would qualify, unlike the NA and EU regions where 6 or 7 or even 8 people could qualify in 1 week.
World Cup meta was so fun. Fun and tough. Because in OCE, there's 1 spot to qualify. So it means
every second week there is 1 spot to qualify.
Sorry, every second week there was 1 spot. So it means if you're not W-king every game and playing a perfect 10 games, you're not making it. Yeah. So it's tricky. It's a bit of luck combined with skill.
So the Twins started grinding, hoping to get that coveted spot in New York City. Unfortunately, however, as a duo they were unable to qualify, but Jordan was able to qualify by getting first place in Week 7 of the solo finals. Even though Jordan qualified fair and square, he was still at a huge disadvantage going into the World Cup. You see, living in Australia, he could only scrim with local players due to the 200 plus ping he would have trying to play against EU or NA players. And this is where Renegades comes in, because luckily after signing with this amazing org, they would help him out and bring him all the way across the world to America early to prepare for the World Cup. The Fortnite World Cup was held the weekend of July 26th to the 28th in 2019, and tens of thousands of people flocked to New York City to find out who would be declared the world champion of Fortnite. But when it came to solos, Jordan's performance was just not what he wanted. He ended up getting 96th out of 100 place in the solo matches. But at least he didn't get dead last.
Well, during the World Cup, I didn't really stay level-headed. I guess I did until the second last game where I took an unfortunate death. I actually got quite angry and may have hit a wall. But yeah, during the last game, I don't know, I was letting my emotions out got the last game and I clutched up.
But just because he performed poorly didn't mean he would go back to Australia empty-handed, as he brought home $50,000 USD, which is still a huge amount of money. And now he could at least tell Jesse, who had won the other tournament, that he wasn't better than him. I can only imagine the craziness of this sibling rivalry. Following the Fortnite World Cup, Epic Games decided to change things up in the world of competitive Fortnite. They moved from the duos meta to a trios meta, and this forced everyone to scramble and find new players to work with. For some people, this required forming an entirely new team, but the x2Twins weren't about to split up for something as small as a meta change, so they needed to find a third player for their team. And you see, even though Jesse and Jordan having amazing chemistry was great for duos, it would definitely be challenging to find a third player that could match their vibe. And luckily, the x2Twins found the perfect trio member, who is now regarded as one of the best players in the history of OCE Fortnite, and his name is Volks. Along with Volks, the x2Twins took trios in OCE by storm. The trio placed first in Season X FNCS Week 1, Week 2, and Week 5, as well as an amazing second place finish in Week 4. Unfortunately, however, it didn't seem like this work transferred over to the Grand Finals, as the trio finished 17th out of 33 teams.
So in the weeks, we came first, second, first. That was 12K a week. In the finals, we got griefed by a mech.
I want to give context. So this was the season where retail was super broken, and we were landing
zombies.
We were landing somewhere not like Paradise or something. No,
we were landing Paradise Palms.
Yes,
we were.
Oh, Paradise Palms. We moved to retail the day before finals
because
we beat the team landing there 9-0.
9-0 and scrims.
They didn't stand a fucking chance against us. 9-0. So finals were like, yeah, okay, we're landing on you.
Yep.
And then finals comes, some other random team just like
landed on us. On our half of retail.
On our half of retail, and then lands on mechs every game. And like, dude, that was the biggest grief fest I've ever seen.
Yeah, and in the end, we found out that they were doing it for a follow on Twitter.
Insanely dominant
That was
team.
super rough.
That was sad. That honestly is the one, like, not regret, but like, that was like the one we should have won.
Yeah.
We were absolutely the best trio.
Despite the upsetting grand finals, the team decided to stick together and come back even stronger in Chapter 2, Season 1. This FNCS switched to squads, so they added a fourth player named Geese into the mix. The squad placed second in Week 1, second in Week 2, second in Week 3, and third in Week 4, and they finally managed to do it, taking home first place in FNCS Grand Finals on December 8th of 2019. Now finally champions, the team took home $50,000 to split amongst themselves. Following this FNCS, Fortnite decided to yet again change this very hectic squads meta and return to the classic duos format. And very obviously, Jesse and Jordan stuck together, although they didn't perform as well as they did in the previous 2 seasons. Regardless of the not as good performance, however, the twins were invited to participate in the FNCS Invitational to represent the OCE region, and this tournament took place on May 24th of 2020. This, however, was a solo invitational, so the twins had to split up and even play against each other. And this was no problem for the x2Twins, as Jordan would go on to place first in the OCE region.
Oh! Let's go! No way!
Oh my god. It was a draw.
No way!
And I won the tiebreak.
This made Jordan one of the first people in the world to officially win 2 FNCS tournaments. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I feel like a lot of people know these guys for content and forget that they're some of the best players we've ever seen in Fortnite. All of this success in the esports world started to be reflected in the Twins' social media stats. Their average viewers on Twitch went from 1,000 to 1,500 viewers all the way up to 9,000 average viewers by March of 2020. This was of course due to the fact that the Twins were streaming all of their insane FNCS gameplay, and also the major global pandemic going on meant that nobody really had anything to do other than watch or play video games. This boost to their stats was also reflected in their YouTube channel. Each video they uploaded in 2020 would consistently get millions of views, and in November of 2020, the Twins officially hit 1 million subscribers.
Okay, so we've hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and with that comes the plaque, of course.
And speaking of subscribers, I am so close to hitting 100,000 and getting my first ever YouTube plaque. So if you guys want to join me in reaching 100K, hit the sub button right now. As they got more and more successful in content creation, it was clear that competitive became a sort of back burner for them, and they didn't care as much about that. Don't get me wrong, the Twins were still competing on an insane level, and they're better than I could ever be at Fortnite. But if you look at their tournament results, they just weren't getting the top 5 finishes that they used to. Despite these disappointing rankings in competitive, they still participated in FNCS for the rest of 2021. But in November of 2021, they played in their last major FNCS tournament, the FNCS Grand Royale. This FNCS was a trios tournament, and the Twins competed with Radius, one of the founding players in Power. The trio did very well and even managed to get 6th place, which certainly isn't too shabby, considering most of them consider themselves content creators. After the Grand Royale, however, the Twins started to slowly disappear, but not just from competitive Fortnite, also the streaming and videos as well. They only streamed 66 days in all of 2022, sometimes going months between streams. And this was a huge switch up from streaming about 12 hours a day for the last 2 or 3 years.
We were doing a lot.
Yeah.
1 YouTube video a day, as well as like a 6 to 10 hour stream, is like...
And the streams weren't like chill streams too. Like they're like, we're scrimming,
and it's not like,
playing comp.
it's not a YouTube video where it's pulled from the stream and it's
Yeah.
uploaded. It's actually sitting down and like thinking of the video, doing the title, doing the thumbnail, spending an hour recording, and then like you're out of energy and then it's like stream now. So it's like, it's a lot.
As they said, this schedule would have been impossible to maintain, and it's not like the two disappeared off the internet entirely. They were still uploading to their YouTube channel and being featured in other content creators' videos as well, and one of their biggest collaborations ever was with Mr. Beast.
I invited 60 YouTubers to compete in the world's hardest challenge.
And that's us, right before we won this billboard and got to meet Mr. Beast.
Jesse won this tourney, right? The tourney was starting in 2 minutes, right? So in the first game of this was red light, green light, okay? We're all lined up. 2 minutes until we start, I look back. Jesse is in the bed. He's in bed, like, just so very asleep.
I was sleeping, like, in our lounge room just next to the setup.
I almost had to physically grab him out of the bed, right? And he gets on somehow, and he plays like half a... If you go watch the recording, I think we did a video on it, right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
If you watch the start of the video, he looks very asleep.
You can just tell by like my hair.
Very
I like
asleep.
literally just woke up.
And then he goes on to win the entire thing, gets a billboard in New York, and wins the Mr. Beast video, which was huge as well.
That's right, on top of being FNCS champs, the x2Twins were also official winners of a Mr. Beast challenge. They can just do everything, it seems like.
Dude, this is insane. I can't believe I'm on a billboard.
It was around this time, however, that the x2Twins started to go viral for their YouTube Shorts content. Shorts at this time were relatively new to YouTube, and they were being pushed very heavily to the algorithm. So they were a great way to gain a lot of subs and grow your community in a very short amount of time.
So it was all the shorts, YouTube shorts. They were absolutely getting juiced, and that's why we got that many subs here.
This caused the x2Twins to gain a lot of subscribers, hitting 5 million subs in January of 2023, and then just 2 months later in March, hitting 6 million subscribers. But there's only one problem with the x2Twins YouTube channel. It's kind of empty for the last few months. And more specifically, the last 4 months, where we haven't seen the x2Twins upload even once. Now, they're not streaming, they're not uploading YouTube videos, and they're not posting shorts or really even Instagram or even any tweets. They're only returning to share their occasional birthday post. All of Fortnite has been asking where they've been, but to be honest with you guys, I don't think this one is much of a mystery. I think the x2Twins are taking a much needed and very well earned break from the internet. I mean, these two, along with a few others, were carrying OCE Fortnite content for so long, and I think they deserve a little bit of time to enjoy their money and see where life takes them outside of their computer screens. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click here to watch another one, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.